ones sold out. I think the total is now 6, 7.
We get close, huh? We have Suriname
So-
now, so we have Bali was the first, Costa Rica,
Jamaica we have.
Hawaii,
Suriname.
so we have 5.
Is there another one? I can actually look on the list.
Do we have another one? Let me think. Oh, I think there's 5.
5? So we said with 10 we start with the...
Yeah, and to be honest, Rio de Janeiro is close
be honest.
by. Rio de Janeiro is close by.
Yeah, we saw another one chasing. I will check the list right now.
And the United Arab Emirates is close by. Thailand, very close by as well. Goes.
There we go. And here I have the list.
Let's. I put my glasses on, my virtual glasses.
Bali, did we say Bali already?
Bali, I started.
Malaysia?
Malaysia.
Malaysia we put us. I knew there was another one.
Malaysia. So logical that Thailand is getting over because they're neighbors.
They
Wow.
preferred apparently Malaysia. So now we have 6 countries sold out. That means another 4.
Yeah.
And then we'll start working even faster on the marketplace to make sure everything is placed and
I think
allowed
next
that.
month we have, it depends if Slovenia is chosen. When it's not chosen, it goes automatically.
Is it 5 times not chosen?
I don't know,
Could
4
be.
or 5 times.
So you think this is another country that 5 times not chosen and then everybody wants to have it when it's available?
That's always
Could
the
be.
case it is. So, but we have the other ones going on, and
We have a lot of regions with the
Yeah.
double units. We have now 5 regions that started in the beginning of the month with double units, and on September 15 they got single units.
yeah.
Then we introduced the top 10, and they all got double units till the end of the month. And then today we will have the tombola. That means outside of all the regions that have single or double units, we look at the top 5 from every category: 125, 250, 500, and 1000. And we will take another 2 from that. So that means by tonight, not by tonight, but on the 24th,
And a lot of countries
We'll-
have an honest opportunity.
we have 20 regions in total with double the units, 5 with single units for the last week of the month.
And you can buy them, the second one with your decoys. And
Only
that
10 days
creates-
left.
And that creates a lot of commission. I saw today that there was
You saw it in your commission or
there
you saw
was
in general?
a waterfall. I see it in general. There
Ah,
was
good.
a waterfall of commissions today again. I think our network makes good money. Are you agreeing, guys out there? Are you making money or not?
That's why they call it Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Now look at your commission. When the answer is I didn't make any commissions, my question is,
Where have you been for the last
What
7 weeks?
what the F star CK are you doing? Hey, is this nice? I didn't say anything bad. This is how they subscribe it with Google. When I type that word in, I get an F, I get a star, then I get the CK.
I know always when you go into this direction, that's always my cue to get also Greg on the call.
Yeah,
Greg,
that's
how are you?
Say it, guys. Do it.
I knew that was coming.
Home again.
I am home again.
Greg,
Good.
what happened after Barcelona, after Amsterdam? Now, and you were in that palace of the Rothschilds or where
The
was it?
Vanderbilts. The Vanderbilts.
And now you are in your own palace. Wow.
Now I'm in the palace of Craig Cushman. Yes, exactly.
It looks like you got some sun in the last few days.
Yes.
You know what? I did. One of the things that one of the joys about being home is that I get to go play with my grandbabies that live here in Georgia, and they were playing soccer this weekend, and so I went and watched my little granddaughter Blakely, who's 8, play soccer. But it was very sunny, and I got a little bit of sunshine on my face. But that's fine. I prefer to have this than the transparent skin that I get when I'm in the Netherlands.
I can imagine now, Greg, honestly, I just came back out of Italy, but it was raining cats and dogs over there. So I didn't get any tan. I get wider and wider. Before you know, we end up like Eskimos here.
That's fine. You know what? It's pouring down rain the last couple of days. It's pouring down rain here, so I'm feeling very much like I'm in the Netherlands right now. So it's a good thing.
Good. So what do you have for the people? It's
Yeah,
Monday,
good.
but maybe it's a special one.
Are you
Yes, yes.
Oh, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, happy Monday. Well, listen, thank you guys, I appreciate it. What I wanted to talk about last week when I was talking quite a bit about reprogramming your neural pathways, and there's something about taking control and taking command of your own thought processes and so forth. And if we don't take control of our thought processes, if we don't take control of how we think, how we speak, how we program our mind, then unfortunately somebody else will. So the reality is you either take control of your life or someone else will take control of your life. So it really should just be you. And one of the things that when I come together in these kind of conversations, I'm always thinking about that. Like, what could I add that would inspire you to take action? Because I think about what would be added to me that would inspire me to take action. So I've been thinking about this, and there's a couple of practices that I have that I want to share with you that I think maybe will add some value to you. They've added value to my life. I'm in my mid-50s. I have had a lot of sales success in my life. I've calculated that I've sold literally billions of dollars in products and services in my lifetime. And the only reason that I have is not because I have some extraordinary skill that someone else doesn't have. I still smile, I still use words, I still say the same things, I still talk about the same stuff that everybody else does. But it's just that I have really captured something that has made a difference for me. And a lot of it is energy exchange. You hear me talk all the time about energy. And I don't mean that in the smallest way at all. I actually, if I was to say any one thing, if you were to ever remember me for any one thing ever in life, it would be that I was an ambassador of personal, powerful energy exchange. That you would do whatever it takes to raise up your own personal energy about what you're doing. I've often said I would rather be a failure at something that I loved. I'd rather be a failure at something I loved than be successful at something I hated doing. And so I don't ever do anything that I hate doing for any length of time. I seek to get after the things that I love to do. And the reason that I love Success Factory and that I love what I do at Success Factory is simply because what this is a bunch of human beings with flaws and weaknesses and dreams and beliefs, all trying to raise up their level a little bit at a time. I'm no different than that. I've spent my entire life trying to figure out how to get a little bit better here, a little bit better there. I don't think that there's anything different than anybody else's path in life. That's what we're here to do, is to notch up a little bit at a time. We talk about 1% a day. 1% a day is 3,000% better in a year, because each 1% raises the 1% of the day before, which is a raise of the 1% of the day before that. And in a year's time, notching up your skill set, notching up your brain gives you much more power. The problem is it's so simple that most people miss it. This is the damnable part of the whole thing, is that success and excellence and accomplishment and achievement is actually much simpler than it's made out to be. We are the ones that complexify it. We're the ones that make it more difficult. If we would simply adhere to simple, daily, consistent efforting to control our thoughts, our words, our beliefs, we would literally invite things that don't exist currently. I've shared with you a comment that Bruce Springsteen made once that I read, and I've had a hard time finding where he said it, but I read it once and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and my ex-wife Rachel actually reminded me of it about a year ago, And it basically, he talked about what he does is he goes to an arena, usually the night or two before a big concert. Now Bruce Springsteen, if you don't know who Bruce Springsteen is, I don't know how to explain that, but he's a classic, iconic rock and roll star from the U.S., but he's been on the global stage for 30 years. One of the most prolific songwriters on planet Earth. And if you're into at all American rock, you know who he is. Everybody pretty much knows who he is, but if you don't, it's okay. The bottom line is, yes, Annette, it's the boss. The bottom line is that Bruce is a creative genius, literally a creative genius. And what he says is he goes to these arenas and he looks at the empty space of the arena. The chairs are not there. It's just one big empty space. And what he does is he imagines the people in the audience. He imagines what the sound is going to be like. He imagines what is going to be the process and how it's going to feel. And he basically, what he says is he manifests something that isn't really there and he makes it real. He basically pulls it out of thin air. Now, does he really pull it out of thin air? There's a process for creating it that he knows. He's taking the steps in that process. He's actually creating something that he knows is going to come to pass. So how is that different than the business that you're building? Right? It doesn't exist. What you are actually, the checks that you're going to earn in 2 months don't exist. You're going to create them. The team that you have that's going to be much bigger doesn't exist right now, but you're going to go find them. You're literally pulling them out of thin air. They don't even know that you're coming to find them, and you're going to go find them. They are themselves right now in the world praying for an opportunity to come their way. They're praying for somebody to bring them some hope, some possibility, something that can change their lives. They're literally thinking about it right now. And you may not find them for 60 days, 90 days, and it doesn't matter. Because they're there and they're waiting for you to show up with a compelling message. Now this is where the exchange takes place. Right? You owe it to them to prepare yourself now, today, every day, for that meeting that you don't even know is going to come. They don't know it's going to come, but you kind of know that based on the steps that you take, that it is going to happen. And you owe it to them, and you owe it to yourself to prepare yourself for this meeting that is just going to be made up by you, decided by you right now. And that is fundamentally what reprogramming yourself, that's where it begins. I love this idea. I love Stoics, and I love philosophers, and I love the concepts that have been put on the planet for thousands of years. Aristotle was a famous Greek philosopher. He's actually the father of democracy and so many things in the world. And one of the things that I love that Aristotle said, and I have it written down in the back page of again, one of my many notebooks, but he said, all human actions have one or more of these 7 causes. All human actions have one of 7 of one or more of these 7 causes. Chance, nature, compulsions, habit, reason, passion, or desire. Now, if you think about that, every action you take as a human being is driven by either chance, just happen, nature, because you're driven by your own natural need, cause, fixation, the habits that you have created, the compulsion. Maybe you're compelled to go out and maybe you're hungry and you don't have any food and you don't have any money, so you're compelled to go get something done. Or maybe you have these habits that have been intergenerationally dropped on you by family and friends, or things you learned when you were younger. Or you reason that it's time to do something, or you have a reason to do something, right? Or it's a passion. You just know that it just lights something up inside of you, or you have a deep desire for that car or that watch or that relationship or whatever it is. But it's interesting that Aristotle thought long and hard about that, and he picked seven reasons that drive all human action. And action is where the game is, right? Thought is one thing. I can give you those words and I can give you that thought in your head, but at the end of the day, it's always about the actions. And when we take action in Success Factory, it's always around those 5 core values that I speak about week after week after week. If you don't have those to memory, you need to write them down and put them in front of you so that they're there in your memory. You should be able to tell somebody, hey, listen, the fundamentals of Success Factory are really built on 5 core values. You should know them. You should have them to memory. That it is about integrity, which you have to explain integrity to people because sometimes they don't understand exactly what you mean, but it's honesty, ethics, transparency, clarity, all of that, right? Innovation is number 2. It's creative design. It's continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Again, day after day. So integrity and innovation. And then freedom. Freedom is an interesting one. And I'm going to spend a little time talking about freedom today. But freedom is something that we innately seek for. We innately seek for our independence. We innately look for how do we provide for our families, our destiny? How do we create our legacy? Because if you work for somebody else, you're really not creating your own freedom. You're creating somebody else's freedom. The reason you come and do this with Success Factory is because somewhere inside of you, you desire freedom. And you don't just desire it for yourself. You desire it for other people. And they're desiring it as well, and they don't know how to get it. So you become partners in the quest for freedom. Financial freedom, time freedom, family freedom, love freedom, like all of it. And that's a beautiful quest. And then contribution. When you actually arrive at something, you have contributed to the lives of people already. You cannot succeed in Success Factory without gifting. The word is gifting, G-I-F-T, gifting, or giving with cause and purpose to other people. You cannot. This is not an investment or it's a personal investment, right? You cannot win at Success Factory unless a whole bunch of other people are already winning. So if you've achieved anything, if you've ever gotten a paycheck from Success Factory, it's because you've actually contributed to the hope and the lives of somebody else already. How awesome is that? And the bigger your checks, the bigger your contribution. This is a beautiful thing. And then ultimately, leadership. Leadership is placed last on this list. And the reason is because the way I see it is that it is the underpinning of all of it and the overarching goal of what you're trying to get to. When you're good at these other things, you are automatically a leader. And this is where my mind on reprogramming took place. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a couple of things. Number 1, I operate very old school. I have a planner. This is actually called the High Performance Planner. It's a planner that's done by Brendan Burchard, who is the author of the Motivation Manifesto and a bunch of other things here in the United States. But I am old school when it comes to writing down what I have to do. You can see I have calls in here. I had a call with a lawyer and Jason today. I actually made a purchase in some cryptocurrency. I need to review some scripts for some things for Success Factory. I have to call a guy that we may have some interest in. I had to ship a friend's medallion that I picked up in Barcelona who lives in Mexico. I had to go ship that before I did this call. I've got the global call. I've got a COC call after that. But also there's a question on this side of morning mindset and evening journaling. So what happens is there are questions that are asked. So I'm going to share with you personally what I wrote today. And there are 10 questions. And to be honest with you, I don't look at them all 10 every day. I looked at a couple of them today. And so there's 2 things that I answered, right? Number 2 in the morning mindset was, if one word could describe the kind of person I want to be today, then that word is awake. Now, I chose awake on purpose because awake means more than just my eyes are open. It means that I'm clear and I'm focused and everything else. And number 4 was a situation that might stress me out or trip me up today could be, and I wrote global call, content focus. So I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, all right, I've got to really focus in on what do I want to share on the global call, because I really desire that each time I say something on the call that it has some layering in your stacking of knowledge and your stacking of words and thoughts. I really want to empower you to be more persuasive, committed, energetic, convinced, and confident in who you are. I really want to give you that added measure, that extra step. And I know that Jason wants to do that too. Every time we bring what we bring, we feel the weight of being educators and trainers in this space to create and ignite you to go manifest and to pull something out of thin air. Business, new contacts, new money, new opportunities, they're all there for the taking if you just step up and go get them. But sometimes you're in your own way. And so part of the reason we do these calls is to actually disrupt and interrupt what you're in your own way about. That's the name of the game. I look for that in everything that I do, in every conversation. I look for opportunities to add to or disrupt any of the thinking that I might have. But I wanted to share with you this thing. So last week, you remember I was giving you the reprogramming your neural pathways and speaking things out loud. And it may seem like weird stuff, but you know what's weird? What's weird is when you don't listen to the simplest things that can create the most significant changes. That's what's weird, because what's true is that small little movements create exponentially larger trajectory changing beliefs and actions that yield results that change your life. That is what small things that we do. Small things added up every day add to major stacking of life-changing, energy-giving, life-affirming, human-moving opportunities and clarity. And that's exactly what we want in this life. But I want to share with you something called how champions know the power of programming. I wrote all over this because this is the way that I personally learn. And this is from one of my favorite books, which is the 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. It says this: the programming that you accept from others and the conscious and unconscious directives, pictures, feelings, and thoughts that you transmit to yourself will find a place in your own internal control center. That's your belief operating system. We talk about it all the time, right? So the programming that you accept from others. Now, sometimes you are given it reluctantly or with resistance, and sometimes you accept it or seek it. Hopefully, some of the things that I provide to you, you actually willingly accept, take notes on, and maybe even consider taking action on. So the programming that you accept from others and the conscious and unconscious, remember I showed the conscious brain and then the unconscious brain or the subconscious brain, and those thoughts live unconsciously. They drive your actions and your beliefs and your perceptions, right? So you have to be critically aware of and intentionally designing of those thoughts, because they make all the difference in the world. This is the programming I'm talking about. So I'm going to stay with this for a minute, so just bear with me. The programming that you accept from others and the unconscious and unconscious, or the conscious and unconscious directives, pictures, feelings, and thoughts that you transmit to yourself will find a place in your own internal control center. Together, those thoughts and images will continue to create in advance or influence on the spot every response, attitude, and action that will be a part of you and your future. So What does all of that mean? Well, here's what it means. The middle class people, the poor people of the world, the non-performing people of the world, basically they scoff and dismiss ideas like this because they're, you know, it's like it's a bunch of woo-woo, it's a bunch of talky talk, like whatever, and they dismiss it. But smart people, champions, actually understand the power of reprogramming. And they do two things that champions do. Number one, they alter their language. The language they speak to other people and the language they speak to themselves. Your self-talk is a big deal. You need to disrupt yourself and stop yourself when you're ever speaking negatively or non-believing about your own ability to accomplish anything. You can absolutely accomplish anything. I know lots of people who, despite their weaknesses or whatever, accomplish things. I know people that really don't belong in the halls of success by my estimation, my judgment, not a true judgment, just my judgment, and yet they have it. They're there. Why? Because they've been disciplined, they believe that they can, and they do. And so, yay for them, because it's actually proof. If somebody else can be successful, it's proof to me that I can too. Because the world is out there to go get and go take. So you got to go get it and go take it and then give what you learned, how you got there, to other people. That's the cycle and the exchange. So number one, they alter their language when they talk to themselves and others. And they create self-talk scripts. You know, we talk all the time about that, but basically when last week I was giving you these 7 steps to change your neural pathways, they're really just self-talk. It's really just reprogramming the chirps that are in your head. Because unfortunately, you know, sometimes the people that put stuff in your head were well-meaning, but they were substandard, right? Your parents, your teachers, your friends, maybe they were doing the best that they could when they were doing it, but it was substandard mental training. And maybe you're struggling with some of that because your parents dropped stuff into your head that said you're not good enough, you're not going to be successful, just go get a job. You know, they were articulating their own fear, their own lack of belief. You're a breakout from the family. You're a transition figure in your community. You're a transition figure in your family's legacy. You're going to change the game. You're not going to allow for poverty or mediocrity any longer in your family line. You're going to go change it and you're going to go make something happen. But it starts with your belief and then your commitment to reprogramming. So number one, the language, you alter your language. Number two, the power of mental pictures and visual training. What I cannot emphasize enough, the power of the language and the mental training. So when I do these things every day, I pay close attention to the words that I'm programming on myself, and I pay close attention to what it takes to be successful in this business. I've shared with you the power of leverage, right? Leveraging is leveraging you, it's leveraging your words, it's leveraging your family, it's leveraging your friends, it's leveraging your team, right? You make decisions about yourself every day. You make decisions about the information that I'm giving you right now. You might decide, Dad, this is meaningful, or no, this is boring, or no, I don't need this, or no, I've heard this a million times. It doesn't really matter if you have or not. It's always good to hear it again. Decisions are how you act on the basis of the information that's given to you. And then you act with certainty about what they mean to you. And when you make decisions with certainty, you actually are then able to leverage the multipliers that come with the decision and the multipliers that come with assurance and certainty. Understand, multipliers are the universal way of dropping opportunity and people and money into your life. If you don't prepare yourself for that meeting I'm telling you about in 60 and 90 days, it will not happen. The universe doesn't believe you deserve it. That multiplier will be withheld from you. I hope you understand what I just said. If you make a decision to prepare yourself now with a definiteness of purpose, the universe will step in and gift you, G-I-F-T, will gift you the opportunity because you are leveraging that multiplier that's out in the universe waiting for you to take a decisive action with certainty. I want you to understand it's no harder than that. This is where it's interesting. I'm gonna read one thing and then I'm gonna close. It says this. The combination combination of these two change processes, which is the self-talk and the visualization with the pictures, the combination of these two change processes has a powerful effect on the mindset of the performer. You are the performer. Sadly, these concepts are so simple, most people miss them. Meanwhile, the great ones, you are the great one. The great ones keep getting stronger and stronger by developing world-class thoughts, feelings, and attitudes through the reprogramming process. I've spent a couple weeks on that for a reason, because for me, when you take the time to construct your day, reprogram your brain and your words and your visions, you are actually setting yourself up for that core value called freedom. And I want you to have that freedom. There are many, many attributes that you must have to be successful. I actually did a I'll share with you another time, but I did a survey with a bunch of high performers, and I came up with I don't know, 1, 2, 3, probably 30 different things that are necessary in order to be consistently successful. I'll share that with you on another call. But listen, the bottom line is we're all in search of and in the hunt for freedom. I hope that you will take the time to reprogram yourself, talk yourself the right way, visualize yourself the right way, and be in full effort against something that you love to do. Again, I would say it again. I would rather be a failure at something I love than successful at something I hate. And I love this, and I love all of you for what you're doing. I stand with you, I stand by you, I'll stand behind you, and I'll stand in front of you. I'll take the arrows and I'll clear the path, and I will add value wherever I can so that you win, because when you win, I win, and when I win, you win, and when we win, we win. And that's the point of the goal. Remember, the goal is first you. You have to be awesome, and then we can be awesome. Don't overprescribe, that we're going to change the world. Change the world right between your ears. That's the world you need to change. When you do that, and I do that, and Jason does that, and Roald does that, and Igor does that, and Patricia does that, and Andrea does that, and Julian does that, and Ahmad does that, and etc. When we all do that, we win. We do change the world, and we will. And from that, I'm going to give it back to the boys in Amsterdam, and have a rockin' week, people. Go make magic happen for other people. Start with yourself. See you later. Well, it appears that the boys are still making their way back. And here he is. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Excellent. Yeah. We are preparing the tombola. Can you imagine? We are looking at the countries, and then, because people, we get all calls all the time out of Iran. Can you pick us? Hey, out of Saudi Arabia, out of Sweden. Can you pick us? Can you pick us? But how can I pick something? It's a tombola, and that's what I love about the tombola. That it's a lucky draw. Wow, wow, wow. So, wow. When are you coming back here, Craig?
It'll be a few weeks, but we'll be there soon enough.
But you will be here for the opening of the office, or you don't make that?
I don't think that I'm making that. I know Jason cannot. There's some possibility that I could, but I think we'll come together at the end of October.
Yes, I think that's because otherwise you're more like you know what you need. You need this new way of traveling that we do in the View. You open the portal, simsalabim, boom, agelada, boom, boom, and you're immediately going from where you sit down. Teleportation, I know what it is. I saw the Star Trek Enterprise teleportation. They stand in something like this, and boom, they end up wherever they want. That's the View, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to come, and the future is closer than you think.
good to see you all again. I'm looking forward to the tumbler and seeing what countries are coming next.
Wow. Full on it today.
Yeah, the Chicago Bulls. We're talking about champions today, so if you want to be a champion, you got to study the champions. Anyone can be a one-time champion. It's another thing to be a repeat champion. It's another thing to be a three-peat champion. It's another thing to be a three-peat champion 2 times. So it's good to study champions and what they do, and you're one of them. Success Factory has a lot of leaders that are a part of it, and I hope that everyone really listened to what Craig had to say. I mean, he got into some heavy things that actually require a lot longer conversation than the 30 minutes that are here. But when you talk about the book that he references is a phenomenal book. It's called 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class, written by a guy by the name of Steve Siebold. I know he's referenced it several times, but if you haven't read that book, it would be a good book for you to go and read. It'd be a good book for you to go and reference. It's an easy read, but it's more like a reference book. It's more like a dictionary. It's more like a thesaurus that you can go to. You can see if there's an area that you need help in to go after and begin to do those things. And so, last week, it was great to be in the Netherlands. We were there. We had a lot of great meetings, a lot of conversations, a lot of things are being done. A lot of things are being prepared for what will no doubt be one of the greatest years coming. Not only is this year a good year, not only is the past month in August was that a great month, not only is this month a good on-pace month, similar to last month, but the preparation that's being done for 2022 is simply a mindset game that you have to get involved in. It's a scenario. When Craig is talking about beliefs, when he's talking about ideas, when he's talking about that those ideas and those beliefs have to somehow make it from your brain and get into your heart, right? It has to go from your brain as an idea, as a thought. The future is faster than you think, virtual reality, all these different things. It has to go from this thought and it has to actually go into your heart, because only when it gets into your heart will it compel you to get into massive momentum. And so I just want to ask you a whole bunch of questions today, thinking about momentum, because while we have had great months and things are going well, I still don't think Success Factory has even scratched the surface of what momentum actually is, of what momentum actually looks like, and what momentum actually feels like. Because while volumes are flying through the ceilings and people are getting promoted left and right, and I'm glad to see our neighbors to the north in Canada, all the promotions that are coming out of Canada, it's great things to see. But I want to, leaders require radical reality, and oftentimes you can mistake massive momentum for just a moment in time. You can mistake massive momentum for just a moment in time. And I just want to talk to you very directly that don't miss the opportunity to create massive momentum because you're excited about just this one moment in time. Because momentum happens over time, one moment at a time, right? Momentum happens over time, one moment at a time. And so I think that it's time to realize that while volumes are being pushed to the max and everyone is doing extremely well, recruiting has not exploded at the same pace that the volume has exploded, which means we also need to have a dual focus. A dual focus meaning that you have to have a focus on the human being. You have to have a focus on the mission of our company. You have to have a focus on, are you looking at purely a financial movement, or are you looking at an educational movement? Are you looking at an economic profit moment in time for yourself, or are you looking at a human profit moment in time for yourself? And the easiest way to get people to begin to think about change, because it's extremely difficult, and Craig was walking you through what you have to do from a mindset and belief system, the belief operating center of beliefs, the way that your beliefs either allow you to change or don't allow you to change, the way that your beliefs either accelerate your momentum or the way that your beliefs actually hinder you from creating momentum. See, champions, the people that really know how to win, understand that human beings are emotional creatures and that momentum is nothing but an emotional game. Momentum is an emotional game, meaning John Maxwell, one of the greatest authors of leadership, talked about when you have more momentum, when you have a lot of momentum, right? You're moving, you've got a lot of momentum. Your appearance, your outward appearance to other people is greater than what it is in actuality. And when you don't have any momentum, your outward appearance is less than what it is, right? So it's a tricky thing, perception. But if you want to understand, champions understand momentum as a purely emotional scenario, meaning that the brain and the heart are connected. And if you can't perceive it, if you can't dial into it, if you can't trigger it, then there's nothing you can do to go and create momentum. You know, it's like this. If I were to try and draw it, like Rusty old stick figure here. This is you, a stick figure, and this is your brain, and this is your heart. You know, your brain has all these thoughts, and you have all these ideas, and you have all these perceptions of what is possible that come in through all the senses, right? So things that you see, things that you hear, things that you feel. Your brain, your belief operating system, has thoughts and ideas about is it possible or is it not possible. But you also have a heart, and your heart is what draws out your emotions, and your emotions are what is actually real for you, right? So your emotions are what's real. So I can give you a thought, Craig can give you a thought, the company can give you an idea, Raul can give you an idea, Igor can give you an idea, but if for some reason there's a disconnect between the idea and your heart, right? There's a disconnect between your idea and your heart, and you won't take any action to it. You won't take any action to it at all because your beliefs keep you trapped by what you believe because you feel like it's easier not to do anything to change. And so if you want to get someone to change, which is a very difficult thing to do, but the way you can create awareness for change, the greatest way you can create awareness for change is to talk about the future. It's what an old mentor to Craig and I would talk about, Blair Singh, he'd talk about sell them the brightness of the future, right? So the moment you can begin talking about the future and the brightness of the future, that's why I love the book, The Future is Faster Than You Think, by Peter Diamandis. It begins to allow you to feel what could possibly be real, right? So when you start talking about the future, it starts to draw on your emotions, right? When you talk about the future, it draws on your emotions because it would feel good to be able to be somewhere. If I started talking to you about what it would feel like to become a diamond, what it would feel like to become a black diamond, what would it feel like to earn $100,000 a year? What would it feel like to earn $250,000 a year? What would it feel like to earn $500,000 a year? What would it feel like to earn over $1 million a year? What would that feel like? You know, I can give you the idea and I can paint all the facts and all the scenarios and all the thoughts on how to do it, which I often do. I talked last week about compound interest and how your money will double, right? I give you a simple formula to give you a thought and idea to think about money, and do you allow your money to go to work for you? Well, the same thing is true for you. The same thing is true for you as an emotional person, as an emotional human being, that you have compound interest for you. Are you compounding towards your destiny, or are you compounding away towards a scenario of disaster? Are you compounding towards greatness, or are you compounding towards loserville? Are you compounding towards becoming a great leader, or are you compounding backwards towards being a solo entrepreneur? Are you compounding towards becoming an influencing and an empowered business owner, or are you compounding yourself backwards into having to go find yourself a job? Is your money going to work for you, and are you going to work for you? Is your team going to work for you, or is it not going to work for you? What is the real compound momentum that you have? And until it gets into your heart, until it becomes a part of you, that's why we talk about the core values. That's why we talk about the mission of the company, to innovate wealth creation for humanity. But if that's something that is purely financial, And if that's something that is purely just economic profit driven, it will be short-lived. It won't be long-lasting momentum. It'll only be a one-time come in, make your money, and never know how to repeat it. A one-time champion, not a six-time champion. And there's a big difference between the two. And the greatest way to talk to people is to present to them the problem and then offer them the solution, right? Present to them the problem and then offer them the solution. And the solution is future-based with what it is that Success Factory is doing. I challenge you, and I challenge this company, that while there's good activity happening, we need massive momentum. If we want to be the #1 direct sales company, the #1 opportunity to come to out of all opportunity companies on the planet, we've got to get into massive momentum of building leaders, of building influencing leaders, and of building empowered leaders. We've got to get into massive momentum in terms of recruiting and building. You've got to get into massive momentum of personally recruiting people and personally creating customers, personally creating diamonds in your team, and personally getting them to be able to go through all their promotional ranks. You see, the problem in the world is that there's no hope. Well, where can they find hope? They can find hope here. The problem in the world is that the economy is getting destroyed. The solution is we build significant platforms that allow significant wealth to get created. The problem in the world is that there's no jobs, that there's a lack of jobs, there's a lack of opportunity. The good news is that we're opening up more and more markets around the world with Success Factory. The problem with most people is they don't have enough money at the end of the month. The good news is that we teach people how to make money, how to keep money, and how to preserve money. The bad news, the problem is for most people is they don't know how to build a team. The good news is we've got leaders, we've got the best of the best, and literally in the direct sales industry, the #1 earners, the #1 income builders, the #1 people. We have people that know how to build teams. The problem for most people is they don't know how to lead. The good news is here we have a ton of leaders that can teach you how to become a better leader. The problem is most people don't know where to go to find a great mentor for their life. The good news is we have people from every race, from every ethnicity that can be a mentor to you. We have people that have come from every background that could be a mentor to you. We have people with every single scenario of problems and challenges in their life that could be a mentor to you to teach you how to get through it. The problem with most people is they don't have enough experience. The good thing here is that you can just begin starting with experience, right? You don't need any experience to come here. The problem is that you think too small. The opportunity is it's bigger than you can think. The problem is you think too small. The solution is it's actually bigger than you can think. The only challenge is your limiting beliefs, what you think, and what you actually feel to be true. Stop telling yourself a story. Stop telling yourself a false story. Stop lying to yourself and start believing in you. Start believing in you, that you deserve to get what you deserve. Your family deserves to get what they deserve. You see, champions are wired totally different, but they understand the power of their thinking. They understand that all momentum starts in the mind. All momentum starts in the mind because it's driven by something that's true to their core, that's true to their spirit, that compels them to get into motion, into movement, into motion, right? If you don't have the thinking, but if you surely don't have the feeling, you'll never go do what you need to do to get what you're destined to go and get, and the world works that way. You have to understand that there's so many people in this world that have hopes and dreams, but they have no idea. They have no idea of what a possible future is for them because nobody's came and told them the story of what is possible for them. So many people have hopes and dreams, but they can't see what the future is because they can't see beyond the hope. They can't see beyond the lackluster economy. They can't see beyond no jobs. They can't see beyond no money. They can't see beyond they don't want to recruit. They can't see beyond that they don't want to be seen as a salesperson. They can't see beyond that they're not a leader. They can't see beyond that they have no mentors. They can't see beyond that they've never made money. They can't see beyond that they've never created any wealth for themselves. They can't see beyond that. So when you come along and you're a catalyst, and you start talking about the future, and you start talking about hopes, and you start talking about dreams, and you start selling them on the brightness of the future, maybe, just maybe, it'll get into their heart. Just maybe. when it gets into their heart, it'll start to change their thinking. And if it changes their thinking and it changes their heart, odds are they'll probably go out and do some things that they need to do. Odds are they'll go out and do some things that they need to do. As Craig was talking, man, he popped off a lot of things that were going off in my brain of some courses and things that I went through. I was actually rummaging through my library over here, but I took this course, and actually I had to get mentorship. It was like a prerequisite if you wanted to be on a stage globally with Robert Kiyosaki and all these people all over the world, that you had to go through this mentoring and educational program. And I got mentorship every single Monday of every single week for probably 3 years straight. I had to go through this massive course, and it's about getting into the zones of life. This is a course that Robert Kiyosaki went to. He still goes through, still gets mentors from them. But this book, this secret little book here, maybe we'll do a workshop sometime. But it's called The Secrets to Increasing Your Power, Wealth, and Happiness. The Secrets to Increasing Your Power, Wealth, and Happiness. Be happy to put together a program someday when we get to live events, because it requires a live setting to sit down and have a conversation. But a lot of it has to do with questions. Most of this has to do with questions. And I want to ask you some questions that Kiyosaki's been asked, some of the greatest people have been asked, to snap into their brain, right? The thinking, to snap into their brain and snap into the hearts, the feelings and the emotions that you need to create momentum. What we're doing right now is great. It's great for this moment in time, but it's not great for the lasting time. We need to become better. We need to become bigger. We need to become faster. We need to get on a recruiting blitz like you've never seen before. We've got to have a recruiting mentality and a builder's mindset of recruiting the planet and building human beings into becoming the best leaders that the world has ever seen. Here's some thoughts. Here's some questions to consider for yourself if you really want to become great. I mean, if you really want to become great, if you really want to become a champion, these questions seem simple, but write them down, or maybe I'll write them down and send them to you. But if you really take the time to contemplate these questions, if you really take the time to write down the answers, I will guarantee you that something inside of you will change. Not all of these questions will do it for you, but of all the questions I'm going to ask you, I think one of them has the opportunity to crack the shell that's sitting around your heart, to crack the shell that's sitting around your mindset, to give you a glimpse, a moment, a little scenario, seeing into the future, what's actually possible for you. Because you deserve it, but you have to do the work, and you have to be real about wanting to do the work. Questions to consider for yourself. How do you believe mental momentum occurs for you? How do you believe mental momentum occurs for you? It's a different scenario for everyone, but if you haven't thought about it, then you haven't thought about it. If you haven't identified it, then you haven't identified it, which means if you don't identify it, you can't reproduce it. Number two, what experiences have you had with momentum in business? What experiences have you had with momentum in business? And it doesn't matter if it's astronomical, it's just a question to get you to understand that you actually have experiences that if you were to exploit them, if you were to use a word that Craig used, leverage them, you would find your ability to create a multiplying effect for your business. Number three, can momentum be artificially manufactured? Can momentum be manufacturally created? If you were on a low totem pole, if you didn't think momentum was a good thing to do, if you didn't think momentum was possible, then you would think things like this. You would think that positive momentum evolves only from positive events. You would think that momentum can't be explained and it just happens by happenstance. You would believe that momentum comes and goes without warning or without explanation, just meaning, hey, maybe it's only because there's a promotion going on that we have momentum. And I would argue against that. Yes, a promotion creates the environment, just like a flower, just creates a condition for momentum to occur. But still, the human being still has to go do what the human being was already capable of doing. It's just that there's a different scenario that brought out your ability to get into momentum, otherwise not there for you. Why do you only wait for a promotion to get into massive momentum for your business? Ask yourself that question. Why is it that you wait only for a promotion to get into massive momentum, to get into massive focus, to get into massive activity? Why would you wait for a promotion, or why would you only use the promotion as the reason for getting into momentum? Don't you think your life, your family deserves for you to act that way, to believe that way, and to do that way every single day of every single week of every single month of every single quarter of every single year for your entire life? Don't wait for a promotion. Make the promotion yourself. Get into the promotion yourself. You see, champions have a totally different belief system. They believe that momentum can be manufactured at will, just like this, just like, dang, I'm going to decide to do it, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to decide to get into activity, I'm going to go get into activity. I'm going to decide to exercise, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to decide to live my life a little bit better, I'm going to go do it. I can create it at will. It's not up to somebody else creating some massive opportunity for me. I can go and do it. Champions understand that mental momentum is created in the mind, and that it's a fearless state of mind. It's a fearless state of mind, right? It's a fearless state of mind that goes from your mind all the way down. Here's a couple other questions to consider, and then I'll finish up. Do you know how to create psychological momentum on demand? Do you know how to create psychological momentum on demand? If your back is against the wall, you don't think that there's any opportunity, you have no money, would you be able to create something out of thin air? Would you be able to go do what you need to do? Psychologically first, state of mind, into your heart, compels you to go and get into action. Another question to consider, what steps do you actually take to create momentum? What steps do you actually take to create momentum? You see, some people are very good at just doing it, but champions know that they need to document it, and champions also know they have to go and reproduce it. You see, you could be a great player called Michael Jordan, and you can go play on the Chicago Bulls and be a champion player, but that's different than creating the environment by being a champion player, but creating the environment for a champion team to exist that actually goes out and wins championships. It's totally different. Do you know what needs to be done? And how competent are you at creating momentum when you need it? How competent are you at creating momentum when you actually need it? And I would challenge you as well to be able to do it yourself, and that's just being yourself and your ability to go become a champion for you and yourself, and you could be a solo entrepreneur, and you could go rock it, and you could go make a lot of money. I'm telling you, life is way better. In my experience, life is way better when you look at what we do as an educational movement, right? An educational movement with human profit. An educational movement with human profit that serves the mission of our company, which is to innovate wealth creation for humanity. And that can only be done by educating human beings on how to move from their mind to their heart to actually going and doing it. By painting a picture in humans, the human raw emotion of painting a picture of the future, of the brightness of the future for them, and where they could be that's bigger than anything that they could ever consider for themselves, that compels them to get into motion, that compels them to do things that they otherwise wouldn't be doing. The game that we're creating here called Success Factory is unlike any other opportunity that's out there. It's just beginning. We're having a couple of great months relative to what's been done before, but it is nothing. It is nothing compared to the capacity of what the leadership in this company can actually do. It is nothing compared to the capacity of every single one of you listening. It's nothing compared to the capacity of all the people that are looking for hope, of all the people that are frustrated by the economy, of all the people that don't have a job, of all the people that don't know how to make money, of all the people that are just looking for a team to play on, of all the people that are looking for a leader, of all the people that are looking for a mentor, of all the people that think that they have zero experience, therefore they just have to settle for what that they have. It's an opportunity unlike any other, but it's going to require all of us to step up our game and to be radically real about the mindset that we have about what it means to be a champion and what it means to actually create momentum. I think that we're just blipping along. We're having some good months, and I just want to be real with you to say, let's get our stuff into gear. Let's get into momentum, into massive momentum. Not that's just promotion-based, but that's raw emotion-based. Not promotion-based, but raw emotion-based. And I guarantee you, whatever you think the destiny is for your family, it's 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 1,000,000 times bigger than what you think it might be. The problem is we're not accelerating on all cylinders, and it's time that we did, because when 2022 comes and when we open up other marketplaces, I think you're going to see people coming to our company in droves. We're going to create the greatest magnet for direct sales. We're going to create the greatest magnet for salespeople. We're going to create the greatest magnet for leaders. We're going to create the greatest magnet for empowered leaders the world has ever seen, because it'll be mission-driven, driven by an educational movement that's about human profit, that happens to change the financial trajectory of every single person that's involved. It's always an honor, it's always a privilege to be alongside of you. Always ride the wave of life, and always play big. I'll turn it back over to the Netherlands.
Yes. Hey! Back to life. Look at all the beautiful colors here.
Yeah, we are watching you, and we thought, okay, we start to communicate, but we didn't come in the show.
No, we were with the audio. We were in the show, but the video took a little bit more time. But we've been working hard, as you can see, Jason.
Yeah, I see it. The colors, the bowls. It's time for the tumbler.
Looks simple, but we had to go through all the list, and the list of regions has pretty significant. So
I can imagine, but you guys are champions at it.
Wow.
You guys are champions at it.
We started to talk about the Bulls, about Michael Jordan. But actually, Michael Jordan won 5 of the NBA titles, isn't it?
Won 6 championships.
All the titles he won with Phil Jackson.
Yes.
Outside.
Great coach.
And Phil Jackson won 5 titles with Michael Jordan. He won another 3 titles without Jordan, with other teams, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually one of the other players that was on the Chicago Bulls, Steve Kerr, ended up becoming the coach of the Warriors, who ended up they won a series of championships themselves, but he too was coached by Phil Jackson. So when you get around the right environment with the right team, with the right coaches that know how to do it, you can do it more than once. Nobody wants to be a oncer in their life. You want to be a multiple time champion.
Yes, and how do you become one? By finding, and that is what the most people underestimate, because most people, they start the network marketing, they don't read the book, they don't listen to you guys, they just do whatever. They are out there, because we have a couple of people, let's say a couple of thousand people on the calls, but we have a network of hundreds of thousands of people. And those people out there, they think they can do everything on themselves. They have no wingman, they have no coaches, they have no trainers, they don't do trainers, they have no mentors, they don't read the books, but they think they are going to become a millionaire overnight by signing up. Isn't that the funny thing?
At least they started.
They subscribed as if they bought a ticket for the lottery. Now I'm in MLS. Now let's see. Let's wait and see what happens now. And I think
then they have to go to work.
they have to go to work. And even when they want to work hard, it's not enough. You have to work smart and educate and level yourself up by listening to calls like this, because we give actually. Are you agreeing that with Greg and Jason, we give a lot of extra into the field?
We've been in this industry for a long time, you even longer than I am, but in the last 20 years, for sure, of course, because of the digital revolution with the online calls, but nowhere I had these calls week after week after week, and have players like Jason and Greg on the call that really have a lot of wisdom and knowledge and experience to share with the field.
When I started, I had no calls at all.
I remember we had these calls, so you could type a number or something and then listen for 3 minutes to some kind of message. It was early days. see if it works.
Yes, let's see.
1, 2, 3.
Yes! Whoa, we come big on now.
Bigger than ever. Wow.
We lost ourselves, but we have the
I think it was a little bit overwhelming for the technical department.
Yeah, we did it
It was like
hard.
5 buttons at the same time, one word.
This is one of the last times I think that we do it in this studio.
Yeah, our people don't see a big difference, I guess. They don't know what small studio. Some people have been here live, so they know what a small room we are actually in. But the new studio, the new office, opening of the new office will be officially on October 2nd. And that means that from that moment we will also do our global calls in our brand new studio.
I look always to that screen there, and then I think, where's the blue? Then I look around, I only see green. Wherever I see, I get green, green, green. But you guys, you see a way more beautiful.
I think it's funny because we always have the green balls here, and then, yeah, you see they're a little bit more blue than...
Can you see the difference between those two? I have the black ball, and you have the green ball. How beautiful is that? So
let's get started. First things first, we always start with the top 5 regions, and it's changing because countries are sold out. So maybe last week they were number 1, but now they are sold out and we don't count them anymore. So now we look at the top 5 regions.
what is
from
the
this
top
week.
5? Last week it was Suriname.
So Jordan on number 5 with 63.51%.
Because of Suriname, Jordan is back in the top 5. Yeah. Yesterday they were number 6.
But then the question for the Johnny, do you really want to get back into the top 5 because Suriname sells out, or you really want to go up to the number 2 one by... If you wait long enough, I guess one moment you will be number 1.
I expected Jordan to sell out in a week, but actually, boom!
I think in like 2 weeks they went from 0 to 61.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
They
And now
went
it goes...
from 0 to hero, and from hero,
Whoa, no.
they
You cannot
stopped.
say that, but let's see if we trigger them.
I said they
Oh, okay.
stopped.
So Italy, 65.11%.
Yes, but look, that Thailand is over
67.33.
Number 3 now.
It actually makes sense in a way because new regions, they come in and they get double the units. So of course, there's more momentum going on right now.
Yeah.
So they sell a lot in the same time. In the beginning, it was maybe a little bit slower. United Arab Emirates, 71.23%, and then the number 1.
Rio de Janeiro. And they have only single digits actually.
Yeah,
but they
they
are
came
able
very
to
close.
hold on the first place.
So let's see what happens next week. If a new region, you think Rio will sell out, or maybe some other units after the next 10 days, because we will have 20 regions with double the units. Let's see what happens.
Wow. Now it's really something. Now, let's
Still
see.
going on. Important promotion. A lot of people are already benefiting from that. They moved up in the ranks, not even 1 rank, but some even 2 or 3 or 4 ranks in the last 1.5 months. But there's 10 days to go. So we combine August and September when it comes to rank qualification, which means you can combine all the volume for 2 months and then it will count as 1 month.
And we have a lot of people. I had some questions. People said, I have the volume, but they forgot that they need to have the underlying rank. So when you want to become a diamond, you need to have left and right in emerald. When you want to become an emerald, you only need left and right in sapphire. But 1 platinum and a ruby doesn't make together 2 sapphires.
And there's something else when we have the normal qualification, so when it's like 1 month, the system automatically recognizes that and immediately updates. We do that, I think, every hour or something. But when we combine 2 months, then it needs to be done manually, and we only do that once a week. So that means if you should be a sapphire right now, but you're still topaz, don't think there's a mistake in the system, but every week we run the script, and then it will calculate your rank based on 2 months combined, and then it will be done in the system. So
I have seen
it may take a little bit more than normal.
I have seen some people that have the volume, like Queen Yamos. He has the volume for black diamond. He has 1 blue diamond already, but he's waiting for Angel and Suzanne to become blue diamond. Then instantly,
Waiting,
bang!
he's probably helping them to do it
He
fast.
works his butts up.
I know.
That he works his butts up because he wants to get it done. And I know in the team of Petron, he's there as well. He has the volume, but they need just 1 more diamond there.
Let's say, without making any promises or any guarantees, that there are some people that are stepping up to probably qualify themselves ourselves for the Circle of Champions for 2022.
I think that too. We looked at that.
Let's see.
So I'm pretty sure that we maybe next time or the time after we can talk about that a little bit, because I get a lot of questions. So how do I get into the Circle of Champions? Now to get in it is very difficult. To get out it, when you don't produce anymore, and that's another thing. People will look at it because some people, they must really step up the game. Am I right? I don't mention names, Ronald. I'm nice.
No.
But some people really must step up their game because
Because there's some other people knocking at the door. We cannot expand the COC, so there will definitely not be more people than we have right now. So some people are knocking at the door.
Income producing activities.
100%.
100%, ladies and gentlemen.
Special promotion is still running, so it's another 10 days. That means for every membership you buy in August, for the view, you can buy the same package with Dagcoin. Also, 100% of the Dagcoin packages are 50%, but the same way we calculate the volume.
Wow,
And that means that we also calculate the commissions based on the euro.
But we stop with that after this month.
We
isn't
stop
it?
with that
Are you
in
sure?
10 days. I'm 100% sure.
So I cannot convince you to go on?
Nope.
I know.
At the end of
I
the
know.
month, that's the last moment, and we will not have this promotion like this in place anymore.
No. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't think that because we are generous that it goes on and on and on. No.
And we have something else.
Everything has to come to an end.
Because we already know, last day of the month, people will, especially the last few hours, everybody will go mad and go crazy and then say, yeah, but the system this, but the system that. But hey, sign them up right now instead of waiting till the last moment.
Yeah, let's not do it longer than that. So at the end of the month, at the end of
It's
not
12
1
o'clock
hour
midnight, September 30, then the promotion will be over, and then it's done.
This promotion is so tremendous. When you don't act on it now, I saw a lot of people having tremendous commitment. When you are not using that right now, when you miss the opportunity to get global units, because I think as well that somewhere in the upcoming days, weeks, we are going to close that global poll. Are we going to announce it or we do it just boom? Can be that we do that on the 1st of October, isn't it?
Nah, we wouldn't do that.
No, I like that. Let
No.
me take out the plug. Boom! Disconnected. The ones that have it,
But
they have
definitely
it.
when we have the bigger regions in, I've said the moment we will announce that we close the global pool.
Yeah.
What exact date is to be announced, but that will happen at a certain moment.
I think this promotion is tremendous because it's sold out. It's sold out. Jamaica! Sold out. Sold out. What do we have here? Hawaii. Hawaii was a runner. 9 days. Hawaii sold out. And Hawaii came in this month, eh? It sold out. Malaysia from the same month, this month,
Yep.
sold out. Suriname, sold out. Costa Rica, sold out. And well, Bali, sold out. So these ones are not in the
We
bowl.
didn't even have the chance to make one of these for Bali because it
No.
was sold out before we even needed to make it.
So, but we have 3 to go from this month with the global units in it, but the single units: Rio de Janeiro, St. Petersburg, and Portugal.
Those are the new regions this month.
So you think maybe, but I get for other countries double. Yeah, but next month you don't get nothing for these ones anymore, only the regional ones. Are you agreeing?
Always the regional ones.
So I would, I bought a lot of Rio de Janeiro and St. Petersburg and Portugal. Portugal is a famous country all over the world. So
But it's also high in the ranking, I think. So
it's very high. They are all high. They are all in the top. So, but this one,
and then these are the 10 that already have double units right now.
yes, these are the 9. You know why? Because the number 1, Suriname, is sold
Sold
out.
Yes.
Now we have the United Arab Emirates. So they are not in here because they're already in. Thailand. I really think that Thailand could be a big one. Italy. Hey, when you don't understand yet that Italy will bring you in the future fortune, then yeah, leave the building, isn't it? Jordan.
There it is. We talked
fortune. You can fly around in the future. France, that's possibly with Italy the biggest one to
I
have.
think they have the biggest
My
tourist
opinion.
numbers in the world, right?
So people will not, they not even need to spend in that country, but by traveling to all those things that they have, you make money with your unit. Spain is a touristical big boom as well. South Africa,
It's also not so long in the last month we
No.
introduced it.
yes, South Africa is already in the top. Turkey, hey, Turkey, wow. Some people say first you need to see Turkey before you die. I understand why, because it's tremendously beautiful. It's tremendously
So
beautiful.
now we get to an official moment here.
Yes, because those
For the first time
have already doubled.
with the official legal department looking if everything
Wow.
is according to
Yeah,
To the rules.
You don't see her, but this lady that is running the legal department, we were on a pancake.
So, yeah.
party, isn't it?
also
And
record
you know,
breaking.
and this lady is originally Vietnamese, Dutch.
Vietnam is actually somewhere in the
She
poles.
is not that tall. I really even think she's tiny.
If somebody from the office would say I go for the record, then that would not be the first
I
person that
expected Ralph or someone well or somebody, but you know, not her. And you know what she did? The record on the pancake boat was to eat 15 pancakes. That was now you think 15 pancakes, I can do that too. No, 15 Dutch pancakes, not the French crêpes. She said, no, pancakes, you know, Dutch people like me, they don't like teeny weeny. A pancake is not like this. The pancake is big, it's a big pancake. You know, I think a Dutch pancake is like 5, 6 French crêpes, isn't it?
I think in that case
It's like the American pancake,
So
but
then,
then not
if you calculate like that, she ate
but like
100.
this. And she broke that record, 16.
yeah, no,
She
but
had
it's
to
good.
recover one day, but she get it done.
We had to roll her to home, but
Yeah, we rolled her on the car and we had to bring her home. But you know, she is now looking at us and she thinks, yeah, you know, those guys are talking and talking, but she
grabbing
only looks
balls and it's
what we
official
do.
for the So
She checked us out. If we don't, that's why I show you that we have really all those things everywhere, because we are busy, you know. Because
let's show the first category then.
which one do we start with?
So the red balls.
The red ones. So that is this one. This is the red one.
We have so that means that outside of the 5 regions that have single the units and the 10 regions that have double the units, we looked
Yes.
at the top 5 regions outside of those 15 regions that are there in every category. That's why it took a little bit longer today, because we needed to exclude all the ones that already have single or double units and then find out which one is the top 5 for every category. And then outside of that, we took the 10 best after that to put them into the black ones. So it's all here. So that means in the red balls are Saudi Arabia, the Netherlands, Denmark, Australia, and Germany. Now we figured out that we didn't have Denmark.
No, Denmark was missing.
But we have, I don't have an example here, but we had a few of these with actually nothing on it, an empty one. So that means instead of Denmark, there's an empty one. So you already know up front, if we take out the empty one, it's Denmark.
We have a lot of problems really. Can you figure out?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, look at it. How do I figure out? One of them is Saudi Arabia. So now.
Maybe only the green ones you can look through right now because it's blue as well on the screen.
Yeah, but how can you figure out something over here? There's nothing that you know, you can look at it, but I don't see any difference in any bowl. So what can we
We
do
can
with
put
it?
some mind reading skills in there.
Yeah, so but you know we
Then
will
let's
do
put
our
these
best.
away, otherwise we get some confusion when we take out the rest.
I should all I worked
We
for
did a lot
half
of work
an
to
hour
separate them. Oh
to
yeah.
get them together. Woo! So we do the red balls. Now let's see the red balls. So I smashed the
is also number 3
Denmark-
actually on the list of the.
Denmark is not even never been in there. No more. Wow. So
We added it actually later on because they were also in the final of
let's
the
see,
European
let's see
Championship.
what we can take out. Shall I take the one? Da-da-da-da-da. This one? Do you want this one? What will it be? Let me see. Let me see. Ooh. Germany! I wanted to take the Netherlands, but I took Germany instead. Okay, Germany, that means
Saudi Arabia.
is good because Phil is from Germany.
Yep. For,
It is,
I think for Peter, he also has some team in
Peter
Germany.
is good. Brandt is from there. He's on the run. Hey guys, Germany, Germany.
Also, the Turkish team has a lot of people in Germany.
Ah, wow, no. So Germany is a good one. So
At least. So we go to the next category.
next category.
We're going to the yellow ones.
The yellow one. So what do we have in the yellow?
500 euros.
500
So
euros.
that means South Korea, Estonia, Slovenia, Hungary, and Greece.
So which one do we want? Now, oh, I shake them. Take a bit. Take. Oh, you shake them again. So which one do you take out? Let's see. Let's see what dreams make up.
Greece.
Wow, Greece, that's a great one. Greece is another great one. I love
Wow.
Greece. You know, I love Greece. It's Athens, it's Mykonos, it's Santorini.
Feels like official with the Eurovision
uh,
Song Festival, you know? 10 points for Greece.
10 points for Greece. So, and now I have to pick one. So, which one shall I take? Whoa, which one
What
looks
do we have
at me?
left? We have Estonia, we
Which
have...
one is looking at me? I think I take this one. Let's see what is this one. Who do we have here? Who do we have? Which one was that? Which category do we have?
500.
Yeah, which one is the 500 one?
Yellow.
Yeah, I know, but which one were that? Which are the competitors?
Oh yeah, it's a little bit too small for me in the screen, so I cannot
It
read
is
it.
South Korea, Estonia, Slovenia, Hungary, and Greece. Greece is out. So that means that the one that I have here is either South Korea, or Estonia, or Slovenia, or Hungary. 25%. Let's open it and let's see what I have. And I have South Korea. Ta-dum. We have a blue diamond actually in
I
South
need to go
Korea.
to the other camera again, so... South Korea,
South
8 points.
Korea. So, what do we do now?
Do we have official notes? Yes.
Are you satisfied with it? Did we do it right? Whoa. Which category is that?
We go to the 250.
Let's first go to the categories.
Argentina, you know, you see the nice colors, it doesn't look very green, but anyway. Mexico, Croatia, and Chile.
So, it's South America, South America, South America, no, South America, South America, Middle America, Europe, and South America. Hallelujah. So, Croatia, you're in the midst of 4 giants. And
That's 100% chance that we have something from mid-South America.
absolutely, yes. So, for sure, there's another South American country. Which one do you go for? Which one is that?
This is Don't Cry for me.
Argentina! Wow!
Otherwise,
And what is
the
left?
producer gets mad, so I need to go to the camera. Argentina.
Whoa, let me see what we can do with this. So, now I have to pick one out of this. Which one shall I take? Shall I take that one, that one, that one, or that one?
You're really good if you take Croatia out. The one Europe country.
Let's see. So, this could be Croatia. Either it's Croatia, either it's Sao Paulo, either
Paulo?
it's Chile.
Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo is on Brazil. Sao Paulo. Or it's Mexico. What do you think?
I think it's
It's
one of those
green.
4.
It's green. The ball is green, so Mexico has a big chance. Wow! Oh,
Mexico, Mario.
I make a joke, but wow,
This is new.
Mexico, ladies and gentlemen.
not all done. Now we go to the last category. That means that outside of all these categories and all the regions that have the double units already, and 5 that have the single units, we took the 10 best regions after that. Actually, the list is pretty long. Remember, we started with 25, then we added 5, I don't even know, but we have 70 or something now,
Yeah.
60, 70. So that means
I'm happy, but this month
two.
we sold out already 3 countries, so we added 5 and we sold out 3. So that's good, isn't it? So what do we have here? 10 balls. So there are 2 in it out of the 1000 category. There are 2 in it out of the 500. There are 2 in it out of the 250. And then there are 4 in it out of the 125.
I didn't put it on the list, so there's just 10, and whatever we pick out.
I don't even know who will be there. I know that England must be in it.
This one? No, I'll pick another one.
Take the number. You didn't like this one?
It didn't feel right.
Okay.
Yes, feels good.
Let's see some magic. What
Yes.
do you have? Australia must be in it as well. What do you got? What do you got?
Right, you say it, then it's out.
Whoa!
Australia.
I have the magic.
Oh yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go.
Hey,
Australia. We gave you Australia and Germany.
Wow. Can you imagine Australia? So
And now it's up to you, the last one. The last one is a special one.
let's see. Is Yemen in it or Kenya or you?
Yemen, Ghana, Congo is in there. Then we have, I think Lebanon is in there.
I hope Congo for Joel Gada. I hope Congo for that one.
And
But
feel
you know,
it. If you take Congo out now, then we have really magic hands tonight.
oh, I didn't want that one. That didn't feel good.
Okay, if you don't want it, I want to see later on if this is Congo.
So, let's see this one. This is good. This is good. Let's open it.
Oh, but some people will be happy with that.
Yes, this is a country that is widely represented with a lot of diamonds. Oh, wow.
We even have a black diamond there.
Wow.
Which means that we have a Mercedes, black Mercedes driving in Oman. So now, now let's see if your first hints was. I just want to have the fun to see if it was Congo.
Let's see.
Ah, no, you don't have to worry about it.
It was not Congo.
No, that's all you need to know. On a need to know basis. So now we have all of
Now
these.
I didn't know. Now I didn't know. I want to see it as well. Can I see it? Oh! Oh!
Now I will only know.
Whoa.
Try
I
to
threw
go.
him at the bottom, you know?
Try to get some sleep tonight. This will all night. Like, ah.
Yeah.
Okay then. I think
We have some beautiful countries in there, ladies and gentlemen.
starting the 24th of September, we have from the 125 Ukraine and Vietnam, for the 250 Argentina and Mexico, from the 500 Greece and South Korea, and from the 1000 category Saudi Arabia and Germany, and then from the bonus categories we have Oman and Australia on top of the 10 regions that already have double the units and the 5 units that have single, which means 25. That's a new record. 25 regions that have single or double the units till the end of the month. So I
When
would
you
say,
don't do it now, you will do it never.
what else do you want us to do? We give you everything. It's up to you to take advantage of everything that we bring to you.
And
So-
I don't even have to beg for this. I don't even have to ask you. He did it out of himself. He just gives it away.
Yeah,
Our vice
what's wrong with me?
president of marketing.
Maybe I'm in a good mood.
He's
But-
in a very good mood because the office looks stunning, Holland. I've seen every day the progress, and you know, it is really mesmerizing. And
The people in the office also look forward to move to the new floor, of course, and the whole vibe there. It's just an area where you want to be, where you want to. Automatically, you're going to be creative as well,
yes,
and
look at that office.
make the best product and the best tools and the best support for everybody there.
Looks so beautiful. I didn't see today. Did they put on the where we have all the logos? Did they put the 3D on it today?
No, they were busy with that, but it was 1 millimeter off, so I let them take it away and said I want a new one. So you know, I'm looking at details here, and they were trying to get it on. I said no, take it away. Not good enough.
And hold on, you guys did last week such great work, and I know
step, but of course first we will make a normal video and also a special video of the opening, of course. And after that, yeah, all these things will happen as well.
I saw the doors with the names on it. That is spectacular. We have 2 rooms in it. That especially when somebody wants to have a quiet conversation, and they put the whole horizon of 2 cities, 2 most quiet cities in the world. Now, my question for you is, let us know in the comments, who do you think are the 2 quietest cities?
Do it in the group, because we will actually close this call now and move on to the next one.
Yes.
Let's put it in the group what you think are the most silent cities in the world. So that leaves us to the last part. It has been a great call, I think. A lot of great training.
Mesmerizing.
So let's do it.
Yes.
Strength and honor. It's all about you.